Remains second down.
Sir Vincent Rogers at his left tackle spot got a couple of potential rushers in front of him. May have had him a little eager to get moving on that play.
2nd and 20 now. Bombers just rushed 3, as you might think, and Harris fires over the top. Right at the first down marker, and another clutch catch from 88. Brad Sinopoli.
And 9 guys in coverage. And Brad Sinopoli manages to find the one open spot on the field coming out of that cluster. He's right on the hash marks. There you see, just sits down in the one open space available. Trevor Harris finds him for a big first down.
9 receptions, 95 yards for Brad Sinopoli.
Yeah, the rain's starting to fall again here in Ottawa.
Keep it on the turf. On first down, which will set up a throwing down once more. The Landers now the featured tailback in this second half. Clock ticking close to 6 minutes remaining in the fourth, and a team that's gone to overtime quite a bit at this stadium. We might have an extra frame looming. Now Mother Nature's having her say.
A big play for Richie Hull's defensive unit here.
Big drive, chewing up the clock, penalty flag. There goes the ball to the end zone. Touchdown, Greg Ellingson.
Now, offside, Winnipeg number 44. That penalty be declined. Touchdown.
Greg Ellingson, who has been pretty much silenced by the Bomber D tonight, comes up with a huge play at the perfect time.
And he's going to have to tell Trevor Harris all about this one when they get back to the sideline, because Harris was on the ground. He wouldn't have seen how this one ended. The bust on the back end leaves the free safety, Taylor Loeffler, scrambling to try and get to Ellingson.
Now through the raindrops, Maher. Point after. Raised the goalpost, but goes through. And Greg Ellingson with his 4th touchdown. Guy who has some magic here at TD Place. TD Place is Ellingson Place. Redblacks lead.
Part 2 of the doubleheader, and it begins very soon on TSN4. They'll have the start of that in about 5 or 10 minutes time. The rest of the network will join it. But first, we got to finish in Ottawa. Back to Rod and Dwayne.
Guy just knows and has a nose for the end zone, doesn't he?
Well, Greg Ellingson is the big play guy within this Ottawa offense. He demonstrates that yet again, making a big catch in the back of the end zone.
So now the Bombers have to answer. Down 7. Langford striding through the rain here. Pretty good return, actually, for Ryan Langford. Setting ourselves up for another big finish. And the Bombers, like last week, trailing late. Can they do it again? The lights under the raindrops in the fourth quarter. Bombers scrimmage here. Down 7 after the return by Langford from their 41. Wing it out for Darvin Adams. As Dwayne Ford said, will the confidence the Bombers have from last week be able to play out again for a 2nd consecutive week?
Well, it was interesting to watch. We didn't get much of a chance to talk about it in the aftermath of that game last week, but, you know, Matt Nichols, with his team down 2 scores late in that game, he was grinning from ear to ear on the sidelines, I think, relishing the opportunity.
Nichols looks one way, now the other, in trouble, pitches it out to TJ Thorpe, and Thorpe somehow bashes his way for a first down.
A big play by Matt Nichols to stay alive. And TJ Thorpe to stay on the same page as his quarterback on the scramble. Does a nice job getting on the move to mirror Nichols once he starts moving, getting to a place where his quarterback can get him the ball. It's a big first down.
A near miss sack again from the Ottawa Redblacks. First down from the Winnipeg. Make that the Ottawa 54. They'll hand it off to Andrew Harris. Has running room. One of his biggest scampers of the night. First down, about 13 or 14 for the native of Winnipeg.
A nice cut back here by Andrew Harris. So he started front side. There's a lane. Follow Big Sook Chung, who gets a terrific block at second level.
Looks like there's an injury on the field. A reminder on TSN4. The Eskimos and the Ticats will be starting shortly. Will be joined full network after this game is completed. Andrew Harris, who like Greg Ellingson, has been kind of quiet compared to what we saw last week and weeks previous. But wasn't it funny how at the end of the game last week, Andrew Harris, who had the first touchdown of the game against Montreal, also had the closing touchdown.
Yeah, the bright lights. Critical time of the game. It's where the stars really shine. Clutch players, Greg Ellingson and Andrew Harris.
Bombers did such a good job tonight.
So Adam Berger, the injured Ottawa Redblack, seen a number of reps at safety here in the second half of this ball game. Free agent signing from Calgary during the offseason.
Out of SFU, but Mike O'Shea and Richie Hall, their D tonight, doing a good job on Ellingson. Brad Sinopoli's been open a lot, though. And number of catches. This is the time of the game where we have to decide players of the game. Tough one here tonight.
Yeah,
you talked about the bright lights.
Determined.
Yeah, the bright lights. And as we said, it could come down to a toe here tonight. Getting close to the 3-minute warning. First down again after that Harris romp. Looks like Nichols is going to empty his backfield. Harris stays into block. Now goes sideline, coming back to the football. Adams was fighting on that far sideline with Jonathan Rose.
Yeah, it looked like Nichols and Adams were trying to work that throw behind down the sidelines. Nichols was Adams unable to get free.
Ottawa number 9. Point of foul, automatic, first down.
Jonathan Rose arguing his case, but it keeps this drive moving. Another first down, Winnipeg.
You're going to see him work back, and it looks like as the throw is behind, he's trying to get back to that. And there you see Jonathan Rose reach around and wrap him up, preventing him from getting back to the ball.
Field goals won't do it for Winnipeg, though, even though there's time left. They'd like to get to the end zone. Nichols, though, is going down. And it's Avery Ellis with the tap out again.
Avery Ellis looking to establish himself as the second best player in Redblacks history to come out of Temple University. Couple of sacks today, adding to the youngster's resume.
Winnipeg called a timeout. Will the timer please put 3:02 on the clock?
So the Bombers call a timeout before the 3-minute warning, and Ellis has been ferocious tonight. The former Temple Owl, former alma mater of Henry Burris, of course. Ellis was so jacked up coming to Ottawa, knowing that this was the place that Hank also brought a Grey Cup. Ellis is doing his job tonight. So after the timeout, final play before the warning. Second down and 19, the loss of 9 on the sack. Nichols takes a peek end zone, and it is caught, but it's out of bounds. Darvin Adams catches the ball out of bounds.
They're so close for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
So the 3-minute warning, Justin Medlock will come out. The Bombers will be forced to take the points to pull closer, and sets us up for another thrill ride to the final gun. Medlock, field goal attempt when we come back. 3-minute warning in the fourth quarter here in Ottawa tonight on Friday Night Football. Darvin Adams thought he had one in the end zone, out of bounds by a step. So Winnipeg, after taking a shot, will now try to pull within 4 points. Field goal attempt from the sure-footed, left-footed Justin Medlock. Keep in mind, new holder this week in Matt Coates from the 35 for Medlock. And this one is through. And just like last week, this Winnipeg Blue Bomber team will take us right down the wire.
Yeah, not what they were looking for out of that last possession, especially to be so close. Here you'll see that toss to Darvin Adams.
By a step.
Yeah, just barely.
So now if you do the math, Rick Campbell's team, which by the way has owned possession tonight. Last time their touchdown drive ate up so much time on the clock, might have actually been able to pave their way to victory if they hang on tonight, and they've been playing so many close ones.
You see the list of close calls they've accumulated, the 4 losses, as you mentioned earlier, Rod, by a combined total of just 10 points.
The last drive took up 6 minutes on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Trevor Harris, play it safe. Ball control offense. Now remember Justin Medlock a week ago. Big short kickoff, not necessary this time. Pounds it deep into the end zone, and this one is going to have to settle in the end zone where the Redblacks will give up one. That's a huge point. 3 points between these teams.
The 2017 GMC Sierra Elevation Edition. Get noticed like a pro.
Well, just like last week, Justin Medlock contributes in so many ways. You start doing the math and you realize the numbers, and that point, had that ball bounced through the end zone untouched, it's no point. But because the Redblacks had to give up one, that rouge could be a big one. Now the Bombers are within 3. They do not have to go to the end zone if they get the ball back. The question is, will they get the ball back? And there's a good start for Richie Hall's D. Stuffing Galanders at the line of scrimmage.
Well, if you're a Winnipeg fan right now, you're thinking they're in much better shape than they were at this stage a week ago.
Well, at this stage a week ago, they were down 12, and pretty much everybody was writing them off. Everybody was leaving. We almost sealed it, couched it by, the old, well, you never know. Well, guess what?
Yeah, we said it. We didn't really believe it.
No,
we'll admit that now.
You never know.
Outstanding comeback late in that ball game.
You never know became what?
Yeah, for the now established Cardiac Kids from Winnipeg. Down 3 with 2.5 to go. The other team having the ball. They're probably feeling pretty confident right now.
You talked about Matt Nichols on the sideline and how he was actually grinning. So confident, even with his team down, not panicking by any stretch. That's kind of his MO. He was telling us yesterday that, he's been through that before. At college, there were 5 different scores in the span of 3 minutes, and his team pulled it out. And, I think that stuff stays in your memory banks. That confidence that you glean even as a younger player. Yeah. It could even be back to flag football when you were a kid. But if you have that confidence to win, it sticks.
Yeah, no question.
With Buck Pierce, former Bomber quarterback, now the quarterback's coach. He helps a lot as well. Big second down here for the Redblacks. Bombers rush 5. Out into that far side. Sinopoly's going to be held short, and Winnipeg's going to get the ball back. And Matt Nichols will have 2 minutes to work with, a chance to take it to the house or get it into field goal position for Justin Medlock.
Yeah, and this is a tough one. It's Trevor Harris has to go to a long throw out to that wide side that just allows the defense so much time to close and make a play, as Brian Walker did.
Medlock has had a couple of opportunities as well this year. Fell short in BC. Will have to kick, if he does kick, through the rain here. We'll have to see what happens over the next 2 minutes. Maher. The Bombers set up the return. Off the side of his foot. This is not a good kick.
That's out of bounds in the air.
Out of bounds in the air, and that will add yardage on. That's a penalty against Maher and the Redblacks. The worst possible kick at the worst possible time.
Well, we talk about the confidence thing in these situations. You've got one team that kind of has the ultimate
Illegal
belief.
punt out of bounds. Ottawa. Penalty to be applied where the kick went out of bounds. Up 10 yards. First down.
Got one team in Winnipeg that has the ultimate belief after the way they roared back in less than 2 minutes last week, down 2 scores against Montreal. Then you've got Ottawa, whose season in 2017 has consisted of a lot of losses in close games. The confidence isn't going to be the same.
So a 19 yards on the net after the punt. Nichols to work here to Clarence Denmark, close to the first down. You've got an Ottawa team, though, that 8 months ago won a Grey Cup, and that's still lingering, but their psyche, their confidence seems to be teetering a little bit early in the season.
Yeah, it really has, and the fact is, every season brings with it a new team. There are enough changes. I mean, slightly less experience secondary, a little bit less experience on that D-line as well for Ottawa than there was back in November.
Dan Lefebvre in, short yardage quarterback. First down to the 45. There's loads of time here. At this point last week, Winnipeg was still down 12.
Yeah. And to some extent, maybe not from this point in the field, but you also become very aware of clock management. When you're Winnipeg, you're trailing at this point in the ball game, obviously trying to score, ideally to take a lead, but at least tie the game. But you want to also leave Ottawa as little time as possible.
Nichols settles in the pocket, and what a pass through a window. Flag down. Darvin Adams hauling it in. Nichols on target again. What's the call?
I suspect Jonathan Rose may have been in a little early with the contact on Adams, who made the catch regardless.
Sure, now going through the minds of the Bombers, also time on the clock. If they continue this drive,
Illegal
if they can get to the
contact.
zone.
Ottawa number 9. That penalty be declined.
We've
First
seen
down.
a lot of teams leave too much time for the opposition as well. Right now, the Bombers, their biggest thing is to try to either tie or go ahead. Great pass by Nichols. First and 10. And this one's batted down and almost into the hands of Nigel Romick, who could have won the ball game had he caught that.
Yeah, Prudeau came on the blitz. Awareness getting the hands up, and that one goes straight up in the air.
So now on second down, do the Redblacks load it up and bring the heat once more? Critical second down, biggest play in the ball game right here. Redblacks stop. The Bombers got to go for a field goal to tie. Here's the rush. Nichols now, far side, and unable to find Julian Feoli-Godino. And so now Justin Medlock will come out. Field goal to tie will still leave Ottawa plenty of time to get it into field goal range with a chance to win it. Medlock tonight, 4 of 5. Missed from the 45, and again, this is in the driving rain, has the wind, and from the 40-yard line. To tie this game up once more. There's the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is good. Here we go again, partner. Here we go again.
Well, you wouldn't expect anything different here in Ottawa. 57 seconds to go, plenty of time for Trevor Harris, Greg Ellingson, and the Redblacks, but
a great hold by Matt Coates.
yeah, thrown into the pressure cooker in his first game as Justin Medlock's holder.
Normally Weston wrestler who is on the injured list right now, so Justin Medlock, clutch as he always is, the all-time percentage leader in CFL history. And Matt Coates, celebratory headbutt, but now in the rain, Trevor Harris can put it into field goal range for Brett Maher. Go back though, how big was that kickoff for the single point by Justin Medlock?
Well, you said it at the time, Justin Medlock does it in so many different ways. Even the win last week, Justin Medlock had an off day by Medlock standards kicking field goals, but was absolutely perfect as he had to be with the short kickoff, enabling Brandon Alexander to recover that before a Montreal player could get close. He's dropping it into no man's land.
Medlock is going to hammer this. Deep it goes to Josh Stanby, who's got some wheels. Hit hard though. Near his 25-yard line, almost the 27-yard line. So Trevor Harris, this is your time. Can you lead your team to its second victory of the young season?
Harris at this point, 27 of 37. 263 yards, a pair of touchdown passes. One of those to Greg Ellingson. You got to believe all eyes are on number 82 here.
Big time player in big time moments. Steps up big time. Harris. Taylor Loeffler is the hammer and Brad Sinopoli is the nail.
Yeah, that's Taylor Loeffler's bread and butter. He's kind of an old school free safety. Looking to lower the boom here on the crossing route.
Lowers the boom. Saw Sinopoli had it talk about timing a little bit earlier or a little bit later. Could be 15 yards. Have to be careful as well here. Another critical second down. Harris going deep far sideline, and it's out of bounds for Ellingson with 39 to go. Crowd now restless, wanted a call there, and so Ottawa's kick team comes out with 39. Winnipeg might have a chance here to get a playoff or two, and again it could come down to Medlock and a chance to win.
Kevin Fogg back to receive. We remember how dangerous he was last season. Had a number of returns for touchdowns that were called back.
Kevin Fogg is back. That kick this time for Maher. Out of bounds goes